he wouldn't have any reason to say dude to that because he doesn't know what he is.
We are
Fair.
we are live, just so you don't talk too much garbage about Lord of Chance.
Oops.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, indeed. Welcome to, I believe, episode 2 of Beyond the Veil of Twilight. Everyone, especially my lovely cast and crew here. Thank you guys. Always a pleasure. So, just to dive right in, when we left off, you guys had just had a less than pleasant interaction with Lord Oberon in the Spring Court, trying to get information on the diadem, and didn't really get very much, did you? Aside from the fact he wanted it, which may be something in and of itself, I suppose.
Yeah, shows how powerful it is, but Sid held her ground.
She did. She did an amazing job holding her ground, too. And as he pushed you out, more or less, you ended up, I believe it was, I gotta pull my map here. Magtura, that's right. You're just outside Magtura, north of the Maze of Fatagan.
Yes.
And had made the decision to go to Astrazalian, the City of Starlight, in hopes of getting more information and potential help, I believe, if that is correct.
That is correct. Because the logic was that we can meet with people who are non-Fae and thus would not have the natural inclination to make bargains on the same level. And that way we would have a bit of an edge and, maybe we could meet with some prime material like wizards and researchers who might have a dearth of information.
Indeed.
From their plunderings.
Indeed. And I believe you also were. You pointed out very wisely that there is a very impressive college of wizardry on the island as well. So yeah, there's a lot of resources there. So we will be picking up more or less right there on the coast. Just north of Magtura, looking out over the star-drenched waters. Of the sea there. So now we run into the interesting obstacle. How do you get across the water? If ever there was a time that someone could play an aquatic elf and actually be useful.
Can we surf? Dude!
Well, I will point out that this is technically an inlet of a sea. However, it is the realm of the Sea Lords the further north you get. If you want to risk it.
Dude.
Nah.
Nah.
Don't think I want to risk it. And we will definitely not be traveling east.
You don't want
into the danger zone.
The Fomorians are very friendly once you get to know them.
Lol.
So, as you have traveled north, because you actually ended up just north of the Maze of Fatagan, I believe, when you got pushed out. As you traveled north, you are noticing that the unseasonal weather is continuing. It's actually getting colder as you go north. You're starting to see more signs of autumn. Cold chills in the air, leaves turning, grass browning. Even some of the more common bits of nature are already starting to nest and gather in preparation for what must be a winter coming, but it shouldn't be here right now. So you can't help but wonder that when you get to Astrazalian, what's going to happen. Those of you natives who are familiar with the area will know that during the nice times of the year, the city is actually in the mortal realms. However, during the winter, this is a fairly dangerous place as it's right on the precipice of the Fomorian territories, which is why it's ruled over by the person that it is.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna need a boat or something.
you will need a means to go across. There are means to go across. You're just not standing in front of one.
Can we look for like a, I don't know, like a ferry service or something?
But don't. Sorry. I couldn't resist.
Rim shot.
So right here at Magtura, you're most likely not going to find one. If you travel west a bit, there's a good chance you could probably run into something. There's always the opportunity of, you could try to swim, you could try to make a boat.
Well, our best bet would be to travel along the banks and see if maybe there's an abandoned boat around, perhaps. Surely there must be something close to the water that we can use to get over to the City of Starlight.
One would hope so.
What about you, Master Kobold? Any ideas?
Well, I can't make any myself because it's not my skill. More of a jewel thing and a little bit of alchemy in there, but can't make boats.
Alchemy. Some sort of water breathing potion?
You could always just turn the speaker upside down and ride on him.
Do we float? I don't think we have water walking yet.
We all float down here.
Uh-oh. Pennywise the mushroom. So, we'll say you guys, if all are in agreement, start working west, looking for a means. Nobody wants to start cutting trees down to make a boat.
Nah.
Nah, dude.
Really not within my skill set.
That's alright. I figured I'd give you the option. Probably not.
They also have repercussions in the Feywild, so...
just a little.
For some reason, I don't think amateur carpentry will be welcome in this group.
How dangerous is the water? Like, is it still or is it like choppy?
It's a little choppy, but it's cold. It's cold and dark and very deep. And there are things that live down there. And call it home, powerful things. Doesn't mean they'll necessarily mess with you. But this is the Feywild. Doesn't mean they won't. But if you guys make your way west along the banks, I will say about a day will pass in relative time, just to continue to point out the way time passes. It seems like a day to you guys. And you actually make it to the mouth of the river, if you're looking at your map. There is a small settlement there. It looks like forest gnomes have made a small settlement there. As you approach, you see a number of them kind of moving through the undergrowth and the forests, kind of watching you, tracking you, keeping an eye on you. They're not hiding themselves, but they're not allowing themselves to remain in plain sight. They're also not acting aggressively. It's more of a defensive gesture.
So it took a day to get to where we are?
Hmm.
As far as we can tell.
As far as you
Okay,
can
so
tell,
there was
relatively.
an assumed long rest in between there then?
You haven't had one yet, technically. You are getting to the point where you're probably going to want to.
So we've been walking nonstop for like 3 days.
A full day. A full day.
Yikes.
Relatively. Purely relatively.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a forest gnome settlement's going to be good as any to catch our breath.
Are you making your way into the settlement?
Yeah, the speaker's just kind of gonna walk right in, like he owns the place.
Well, you're met. There's a small barricade around the village. It's nothing you probably couldn't step past or over in some cases. Just a small rock wall more than anything. But there is a definitive opening. And there are two fairly burly-looking gnomes. I mean, for gnomes, standing there. Each one holding a spear that looks as much as it was grown out of the ground as plucked. They cross their little spears in front of you as you approach. And the one on the left says, "What ho there, stranger? What do you do here in our little home?"
We're simply passing through, and if we may, we would like a place of rest and hospitality, if you can accommodate us, and would be willing to.
It's quite a crew you got there. I'm not so sure we got room for the likes of you. You're pretty big. I'm not sure what that one is altogether, points at Jeph.
Yes, Jeph is a treant, though did not start out life that way, necessarily.
Well, can you compensate?
Compensate in what way?
The season came a little early. We're remarkably low on sundries, as it were. What could you spare? We're willing to bargain.
What would
We offer enlightenment.
Funny thing about enlightenment, you can't really eat it, can't really sit on it, can't build a house out of it, can't breed with it, so appreciate the offer, but I'm going to have a hard pass on that one.
Well, what is it that you most need at the moment?
Food. What have you got for food? Our stores are low.
We could probably
I
go.
have a spot of rations on myself. They're food enough to feed a singular person for a day, but it is something to eat.
Could probably go hunt something.
Well, I see you're about as ill prepared as we are. Do you know anything? What's happening?
That's actually what I've been leading this group to try and figure out, because I'm affiliated with the Court of Spring. They all live in a grove outside of the autumn city of Mithrandain, and even it has been unseasonably warm. Feels more like springtime there, which is rather odd, and I have a feeling that something may be afoot that I'm looking into myself.
That bastard Oberon, he forsake us a long time ago. Sorry.
Oberon is a fickle sort. I don't blame you. He was of little help to me as well, because I wouldn't give him what he wanted, but...
I mean no disrespect. I apologize. We're nervous. Strange things are moving about in the wood.
It is not a slight against me personally, and you have reason to be nervous.
Indeed.
What kind of strange things?
Dark things. Our hunting parties have been reporting a black stag in the woods being chased by a woman holding a babe to her breast. A dark lady with white skin. We've lost a lot out there recently. Entire hunting parties haven't returned, and with each one that doesn't return and each one that comes back empty-handed, we're that much closer to devastation.
With the mention of the dark stag, Sibylla is just thinking to herself, like, oof. Big oof.
I tell you what, I have forsaken my own hospitality. You are welcome here. Please, you've shown me nothing but respect and polite demeanor. You may enter.
It is much appreciated, thank you. It's very kind of you.
They let you pass.
Relic stays on the heels of...
Mm?
Relic just stays behind her at all times, pretty much just staying on her heels.
Okay. I assume, does everyone go in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we follow the procession in.
All right.
Yeah, Relic could
Yeah.
probably even be comfortable in here considering he's a kobold.
Yeah, this is
He's
right,
gnome size.
right about your size.
Yeah.
How tall are gnomes?
They're
2.5,
small
3
size.
feet.
Okay, the speaker's like 4.5 feet, so he's a little bit tall for the area, but he kind of fits.
You'd probably fit a few under your head there if it starts raining.
Let him
True.
So, you do get a lot of strange looks. In fact, you'll see a number of like women kind of pull their children away from you and give you a wide berth as you make your way through. Nobody's really trying to stop to talk to you. You very quickly make your way to the center of the settlement. The settlement's laid out like a small wheel. It's mainly just residential houses. There's a couple craftsmen close to the middle, but it's mainly like a smith that you can tell works with nails and shoeing and buckles, that type of thing. A tanner, a woodworker, that type of thing. Mainly just domestic and industrial purpose.
Ooh, a woodworker.
It's a good idea, Relic. I don't think we would be able to acquire boats that would fit our size, though. Little bit harder out here.
Maybe with a bit of bargaining. I mean, Jeph, we can just throw in the water and tow him behind us.
Jeph looks a little wounded.
What? Come on, you float.
Dude. I mean, we'd already be traveling in a wooden boat. Dude.
I think Jeph, you can hear him kind of mumble under his breath something about, and if we get hungry, we can always rip your tail off. You'll grow another one.
Yikes.
So, as you make your way to the center, a large, plump gnome kind of waddles his way over to you. He's just a classic David the gnome. He's even got the red pointy hat.
Oof.
He's wearing like a big bright blue suit, barely covers his belly. The buttons are straining against it a little, buckled shoes. He's got thumbs in each one of his pockets. He waddles over. Strangers in me town. Whew. Sorry, give me a moment. Oh, it's hard work being in charge of this lot. What are you doing here? What's your business?
We simply look for a place to rest our heads for a little while before we go along our way. We're trying to make our way to Astrazalian, the Starlight City, you see. You just needed a place to rest, is all.
You picked a fine time.
Indeed. Your guards were telling us about all the strange things that your village has seen, and I've noticed it as well.
Well, as I'm sure their hearts are in the right place, he kind of glares over their direction. They shouldn't be telling you our business. Anyway, look, your business in the city is your own. In fact, truth be told, I don't even want to know. Lady Chandria is on the warpath. I'm going to go ahead and warn you what you're stepping into. Have you acquired a means to get there yet?
We have. That's what we've been on the look for. As of recently, anyways.
I mean, I have a boat. But, surely, I mean, I couldn't just give it to you. I mean, perhaps we could discuss some type of agreement we could come to, some type of mutually beneficial trade or barter.
Well, what do you have in mind?
Well, I don't suppose you have a large stash of food on you, do you?
I have enough rations to last 10 days for a single individual. And personally, that's all I have. I don't know if the
How about
party would be of assistance, and she turns to the druid, like, just in case.
Dude?
Numb berries.
No berries.
We will contribute 10 rations.
10 rations. That's based upon your size, about 15 meals amongst over 600 people.
Or a second solution. We could use hypnosis to put your people into a trance where they will use less energy and food.
I'm not so inclined to go that route. I appreciate the offer, but that's actually a little bit creepy.
Relics.
That is how my people do. We reach collective transcendence.
Yeah, you also live down in the Underdark with those nasty drow.
It's a peaceful existence.
Not so much when they come up this way. Look, I appreciate it. I do. So here's the thing. You don't have the food. Truth be told, your money's not going to do us much good here. Perhaps you could offer something tangible that we could use to help us survive whatever this coming winter might possibly be.
Just going to think for a moment.
So Jeph puts on some heat, right?
A little bit, yeah.
We could give him Jeph.
You know what I've always wanted?
What might that be?
I've always wanted a crown. He actually makes eye contact with you when he says that.
Dude.
Something pretty to wear upon me brow.
Dude.
Oh, wait. So Relic will dig into his backpack, and in there probably like quite a bunch of crappy metal bits of like bronze and brass and all sorts of whatever. Like, and he'll just fashion something really crappy really quickly and go, oh, crown. There you go. Right there. Crown. Yeah.
Not quite what I was thinking. See, here's the thing. And I may not have been entirely honest with you. You guys are starting to notice that like the village has gone really quiet and everyone's just kind of watching you now. Like everyone has stopped.
Yeah.
And they're just watching you. He says, I may not have been entirely honest with you. See, my current hat's a little dry.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I'd really like to perhaps replace it with something that wouldn't need to wet quite so often. And as he says that, the entire village begins to kind of shimmer with a strange incandescent warble. And the glamour begins to fall away, revealing the fact that you are in an absolute ramshackle of what once was a gnomish village. And you find yourself kind of surrounded currently by a large number of red caps.
Oh, crossbow appears in Relic's hand.
Yeah, Sevilla begins to ready her staff and says, well, I must apologize, but to that end, I do not have anything that I would be willing to trade.
So, you guys, real quick, make me a perception check. Everybody who wants to. As usual, you know me. You don't have to if you don't want to. Nice, very nice. Decent.
Yeah, it's not Relic's strong suit.
A little less decent. Decent. Let's see, is that 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah. So I'll say, Sib, as you kind of are you're like taking stock of the situation, looking around. You do notice that a good 40 feet away from where you're currently standing, he was not lying. There is a small fishing boat moored right on the edge of the water.
Running jump.
I am going to whistle and then point at it to the party, basically.
Okay. So you point it out to the party. Are you hiding this, or is it just obvious?
I'm going to try and hide it as much as I can.
Okay.
Would you like a sleight of hand check?
Yeah, let's do sleight of hand.
You don't have to do anything like that. You're under the influence of rapport spores. You can talk telepathically to all of us always.
Is it to all of them or just to you?
We'll just say that.
Or you could, I guess,
like,
relay it quickly.
Yeah, like I can act as like a switch.
I'll let that slide. I'll let that slide.
Okay, then
And
that
I
is
will
how
say
I will.
that- And I'll say that rapport spores have been in effect long enough to kind of like have some sort of permanence on you guys, the party.
Yeah, no, I'll let that go.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I'll point it out telepathically, because that's a lot better, actually.
Speaker's new name is Switchboard.
Switchboard.
I like it.
So yeah, everyone is now aware of the boat and an idea to bolt for it. Is that the idea? It's up to you.
Yeah, I think that bolting for it would be the best idea if we can manage it, because I don't think these fuckers swim, so...
I'll tell you what, before we do, real quick, do you think I could get each of you to make a roll on the emotional response table?
Sure.
Especially you, Kyler.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
This is going to be interesting.
It's just fudge, right?
It's on the table there, the rollable tables.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so not the dice thing?
No, the rollable tables. You should see it. Emotional response. I think it's under
not in journal, is it?
No, under
Well-
collection. I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the hamburger tab.
Okay. Yeah.
And Kyler, I actually need you to roll. I need you to roll twice, Kyler, just because this is hitting a little personal for you.
Ooh, okay.
You got this.
Okay.
You're more likely to get green than anything, I'm pretty sure, so just go for it.
It's weighted very green.
Come on.
I got the big unlucky.
And
2 yellows. Okay.
alright.
All good.
Okay.
All good. All good. So I pulled this up on the screen again, just so everyone watching can see what this all means, basically. So we'll start with the relic. You were remarkably calm. You're fine. Kyler, you're feeling a little paranoid, a little nervous by this, but it's controllable. But you are struggling with something right at the edge of your mind that feels like a memory of something that you don't want to remember. Trying to peek
Nope.
through. Yeah, this is like shove it down, shove it down, shove it down.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine.
Sip,
This is fine.
Sip.
Yeah.
Give me a D4. Let's just do a straight D4. I'm gonna see what direction this goes. All right. Fear. You are overtaken with fear. Just an overpowering sense of fear. You know these unseelie bastards just want to rip you limb from limb. They want to soak their hats in your blood and devour whatever's left. They want to desecrate your corpse. They want to make a fool of you. And you are well beyond that. You are royalty. And you are terrified about what this means for your legacy. How do you react?
Oh gosh. See, the she are a bunch of skittish bastards who don't like to fight. And I'm going to go off the description, a lot of spells that cause fear in like D&D, like the source, the
Yeah.
D&D SRD. She is going to seize up her vertical slit pupils are going to like narrow, basically, like teeth shattering. She is just going to freeze, and then all of a sudden she is going to let out an and just turn and bolt. And she's probably like going to like Misty Step, like just
Awesome.
just to flash out of there as quick as she can. So, use my one charge of that and like just make a beeline for the bolt just to GTFO
Okay.
out of the way of the red caps.
So you just about like make it to the boat by Misty stepping. So they just poof. All right. So everybody else is bolting. Jeff's and Hyacinth are just trucking. Doom, 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 doom. You just like see a couple red caps get knocked out, like just flying through the air as Jeph comes running through. Is everybody else moving?
Yeah. Relick's totally
Dude.
straight after Sib.
All right. Kyler?
I'm going to.
All right. And the speaker, I know your movement speed is it a little slower than normal?
Yeah, it's a little bit slower, so we're gonna kind of let out a cloud of spores behind us as we leave.
Nice.
That'll kind of set off some sort of.
What kind of spores?
I'm thinking. Go to sleep spores.
Okay, sleepy spores. All right.
Yep.
Good call. Good call.
Oof. All right, one of them falls out. So you have them. They're right on your tail. I assume if you take a dash action beyond your spores, speaker, like you're moving faster than most myconids have ever moved before.
Can I do something on top of the spores?
What do you want to do?
I don't know if it's gonna let me do it.
Poison spray.
Yes.
All right. This is at usually one creature. What creature in particular? Or just randomly reaching around and smacking one as you're running?
I would say, I project a puff of noxious gas at the guy at the straining buttons.
All right, the big boy.
Bad decision, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
It's fine.
Hey, take out the leader, you know?
Look at that.
Ha!
Look at that.
Save.
He
All
made
right.
the save, just barely. But at the same time, he's like. So
I want to do something.
So
I
there.
want to make him roll again.
Oh, what are you doing to do that? What are you using? Luck.
I have lucky feet, so I can make him roll again and take the worst.
All right.
He's probably gonna make it. I don't know.
Nice.
He
There you go.
didn't make the save.
Roll d12.
Nice.
Roll damage.
Yes. Oh, this is gonna be epic, guys.
1 point.
That would be funny.
Gosh.
That would be funny. 7 points.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, in fairness, the reaction is similar. Except there's burning flesh now.
Nice.
So, everyone's bolting. The red caps are just like hopping and jumping. Their knives are coming out. There's grinning and cackling. I'm gonna get you. Just, you guys dive into the boat. Jeph is the last one in. His body hits it. The boat goes. Boom. It takes in a good bit of water, but stays afloat and immediately begins to drift out. Is anyone doing anything to propel it?
I'm looking at what I got now.
Yeah, we're gonna look around the boat and see if there's like some oars or a pole or anything.
There is an oar.
An oar?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a particularly long oar?
Just a standard oar, gnome-sized.
Oh, great. Gee, I wonder who that's going to be down to then.
Hand it to the person best equipped to be propelling this boat out. Some of his
Yeah.
speed, some
I
of his
have an
strength.
idea.
Here you go, Hyacinth.
I have an idea. I have an idea.
What's your idea?
If you'll allow it. I want to continually use druidcraft to blow a puff of wind at the back of the boat and to push it.
While I'm paddling, huh?
I tell you what, I'll give you a tiny boost for that. It's creative. I'll allow it. A tiny boost. Is Relic taking the oar and?
Yeah. I mean, it's small-sized oar. I'm small-sized, so.
All right.
I mean, the bigger-handed guys will probably just break the damn thing.
True.
Honestly, fair.
Fair. So, you You start paddling for your life. You know, Kyler's like, like the ship's moving.
Blowing into the sail.
As you suspected, the red caps begin just jumping up and down at the edge of the water, gnashing their teeth and hurling out obscenities in various languages, stamping on their hats, and just they're angry as hell, you can tell. But you drift out, and you make very good time, all things considered, and before you know it, you can turn around and catch your breath and laugh at them if you want to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sibylle is like constantly looking back, and as she sees that, you know, they can't do anything, they're just jumping up and down the edge of the water, like, as they, like, drift further and the red caps fade from view, like, her chattering just sort of slows down until it, like, she's not at all, and then she just lets out a whew. And her normal, noble, composed image is just kind of broken a bit because she was a little frazzled by that. So she just like takes her hand, smooths out her hair. The little flyaways that kind of went everywhere because she was just like, nope.
All right. Yeah, so no, you guys made it. You made it. You escaped. That actually probably could have gone much worse.
Oh yeah, level 1 party probably don't want to fuck with some red caps.
Yeah. But no, you guys, that was a great escape. It was really, that was fun. So you guys are out on the water. You make your way. Poor Relic, just steady, the little guy. You big, fat, stupid, bigger people.
Pretty much.
So as you can see from your map, most likely it's it's a decent distance. Are you guys gonna make the poor little guy row the whole way?
No.
Dude. It surprises me he doesn't have an egg beater in there that he could attach the oar to.
I mean, to be fair, he's got a good stamina. You know,
Yeah.
not very strong, but he's got good stamina.
So Relic, how are you feeling about them making you row all this way?
I'll help
Well,
you, dude.
to be honest, I haven't really thought about it yet. He's probably just still thinking about the red caps.
So as hours become multiple hours and the burn sets in and only Kyler
I was about
is
to
like...
say,
Yeah.
I was about to say, in character, what might be a good idea is, well, we've been walking so long and we need to recover our strength. What we might want to do is attempt to rest out here on the boat, and then whoever's rowing can keep a watch. So
What?
we'll swap off every, like, 2 hours or so. Not fair to make one person do it the whole time. We need to rest.
Fair.
Good point. Good point.
All right. So using this method, we'll say, you guys are going to be out here for about a day. Some of that is going to be time dilation. Just so you know, based upon the emotional outburst from earlier.
Yeah.
So, like, a full day passes out here on the water. You still have not had a full rest. Everybody's, at this point, since you're only able to really sleep, it's a tiny boat. Nobody's actually getting any rest, aside from letting your arms recover from rowing.
Can I do something on my turn?
Yeah, well, I was going to say everybody's going to take a tick of exhaustion at this point. But yeah, what do you want to do?
Okay. I want to use this as far away from us as I can to try to create a tidal wave that will push the boat.
Whoa. Let me have a
We're in the
look here.
I mean, we're nowhere near the ground, right?
So, yeah,
It's
the
creative.
well, it is creative.
sea is just really deep.
Yeah, with the range being 10 feet, you wouldn't be able to hit the ground from where you're at. It is creative,
If I
though.
used it, it wouldn't do anything. Then?
No, it wouldn't, because you do have to target actual terra firma.
I mean, we're more than 10 away from shore and such. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're more than 10 away from the bottom of the sea that you're in right now. Like I said, it's creative.
Fair.
It's good, and it's okay. Like I said, you guys are going to take a tick of exhaustion, just because nobody's getting good rest out on this tiny little boat and in a choppy sea. Nobody's feeling comfortable. Nobody feels safe.
Well, I don't know, but Hyacinth feels perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yeah, to a degree. Although I imagine Hyacinth is actually probably a little wonky about it too.
I have a question though, dude.
What's up, dude?
Didn't the speaker just like release a cloud of spores that made everybody really sleepy?
Well, he pulsed them specifically at the red caps.
Yeah, like behind us as we ran.
Couldn't
Yeah.
he just do that to us and we could voluntarily fail our saves and get some rest?
If you want to, I would love for you to do that.
We can take you through a restorative trance. Like,
Please, by all means, let's let the entire party fall asleep in a small boat aboard the sea here.
Dude,
like
put
a
me in
good
put me in coach.
Yeah,
put me in restorative
Civilia's
sleep,
going to
bruh.
protest.
Blow him in my face, dude.
Yeah.
it's fine. It doesn't necessarily
I'll
have to be
inhale
like,
deeply, I promise.
So the speaker will kind of like put its hand on Kyler's face and just say, "Sleep."
Right.
Oh, dude.
Hey, Kyler, give me a dex check, please. Dex save.
Yikes. Oh, okay.
You're
Dex.
fine. Just don't roll a 1.
Okay, but I mean, that's probably gonna happen. But
Just-
okay,
just-
alright,
You good?
it's fine, it's fine. Okay, no. That's not good.
You're fine. I was just seeing if you fell off the boat.
No?
You just
Didn't even
needed to
think of
not
that.
roll a
Nice.
1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. So Kyler passes out. So here, just to save you guys a little hassle. Luckily for you, the rest of the journey passes fairly uneventfully across the water. It's wearing you out. It's tiring. Nobody except for Kyler is getting any real rest. Poor Relick is exerting himself beyond belief. He's being a real trooper about all this, especially for a kobold.
I want to take turns with them, by the way.
If you're helping that, even better. Even better.
Yeah,
I'll take
like
the first
Civilia
shift before I
said,
get
like we
spored,
need
if
to like
possible.
take turns rowing.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah, dude.
So, here, let me see here. Is it this one? Nope. This one. Did I get it to all? Oh, no. Let's do this. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. There you go. You guys eventually begin to make your way through the edge of the waters. And in the distance, of course, you see it first. The white towers gleaming in the distance. The faint light against the, the twilight sky, the lighthouse. And you see the island city ahead of you. You're coming up on the harbor side. This is kind of the view as you're pulling up to the harbor.
As we pull into the harbor, the speaker kind of touches Kyler on the face again and just says, "Awaken." And just kind of like wakes up instantly.
Dude, no, dude, no.
I was dreaming about bros, dude.
I want to go back to sleep, bro.
So
Totally Mac and
Stunning.
Relic, bro.
now, Sib, chances are you've been here,
Yeah.
based on your nature. Some of you other guys might have been here too. So I'm just going to go on the assumption that what I'm about to show you is fairly common knowledge. So here is the city from the overhead. And I'm going to share the location key with you. Should be in your journals now. This is what everything here is. Just so you know. You're welcome to refer to this. I will say this, those of you who are familiar with the city, and this is kind of a roleplay thing more than anything, Sib would definitely know based upon her role within the Spring Court. Aramath Teldorn, the smithy, is an Eladrin smith of multi-planar renown as both an armorer and a weaponsmith. Beyond that, the Tower of Naming is a big thing. Of course, the houses are representing the Eladrin royal houses. You can definitely see the temples and whatnot. Multiple inns and taverns, that type of thing. But yeah, that'll kind of get you a little oriented as far as where you're at. Seb will be able to guide anyone who's unfamiliar. Those of you who are familiar would have this information already.
Yes.
As you pull your little dinghy up to the docks there, you are greeted by a human. Who actually helps land the ship on one of the docks. Right about here is where you're pulling up.
Cool.
He reaches down and reaches for a line. He's expecting you to throw him a line as you pull up.
Okay.
Does anybody throw him one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Do we have rope?
Yeah, there's a line in the
Yes.
boat.
Okay.
So you toss him a line?
Oh, yeah.
All right. He reels you in. He pulls you up to the side of the pier there and ties you off. And very cordially reaches down, starting with Lady Sib, and helps you out of the boat. One by one, he does the same for each of you, very politely. He's wearing a liripip, if you're familiar. It's a type of hat with a big hanging dangle that comes off the back side of it. He's kind of tipping his hat one by one. Oh, hey, nice to meet you. Hey, nice. There, glad to see you. There. Yeah, helping each out of the boat. He says, wow, haven't had a visitor in a while. It's good to meet you. You're such interesting folk. Of course, yeah, it's a big city. My name's Billy Zed. Nice to meet you.
I like him already.
What
Oh my god.
what brings you to our fine city?
Relic yawns massively.
Oh, you're sleepy. Yeah. No, we get that a lot.
We're here for information, but I think first we must take a rest.
Oh,
First.
yeah, we've got some fine establishments here. A fine lady such as yourself. I imagine the tree's going to be probably your best bet. It's going to feel most like home. Although, we've got loads and loads of places that would be friendly to all of you. I could help you get there if you want. I don't mind. My shift's ending here.
Well, I do believe that I know my way around here, so I will guide this lot to an inn, but I appreciate your offer.
Oh well, if if you need anything, you can come find me. Just remember my old name is Billy Zed. I'll be right here on the docks. My house is actually just right up there. And he points to the house next to number 7 there, right here. He said, me and my 15 children and my 2 wives and my uncle and my cousin and my dad and my mom and my grandfather and the neighbor's 2 kids. We all live there. Come by and see me.
Well,
I will keep that
thanks.
in mind.
Right, you have a good day. Be safe out there.
We shall.
So, as you guys begin to make your way through into the city here, Astrazalian, you're immediately taken aback by the beauty. Obviously, the city is just a wonder of Eladrin architecture. The architecture seems to be grown as much as built. It nestles into the nature, trees and shrubs and natural settings just kind of meld and blend to where it's hard to tell where one begins and the other ends. Of course, the strange natural lighting that permeates the area is just obviously some form of magic. You can see the towers of the temples in the distance, and then of course up on high, Lady Chandria's tower is a gleaming beacon of just white light. One thing you did see as you were pulling in is a small fleet of warships patrolling out in the bay there, which is a little odd. As you know, Lady Chandria is the first sword of the city. She is an Eladrin warlord. So to begin with, it's a little weird that she is running the city. However, in the off seasons, like what is apparently happening now unseasonally, Astrazalian is right on the edge of the nasty lands. So as you're coming into town, you see a whole lot of the Sword Guard, which is the elite regiment of Eladrin soldiers that defend this city from the Fomorian threat. These guys, like, you do not want to tussle with these guys. This is the Eladrin elite combat units. So beyond that, you do know that there is a fleet of warships that this city has, and they are out in the harbor. As you enter into the city, you can feel the chill of cold, and it should not be this. This should be the spring, maybe even summer season starting to set in for this area. So it's very unseasonable. There's a lot of bustle about the city right now. A lot of multitude of creatures. You have humans, tieflings, Eladrin, elves, dwarves, gnomes, halflings. You know, just anything you can imagine, really, is you're probably going to see meandering around on the streets here. That being said, what is it you're going to look for?
What would Lady Sib know about each of the 3 inns? The House of Solace, the Swan House, and the White Poplar.
Okay. Now, I will say that the White Poplar is the largest, and it's the one that normally caters to travelers from the mortal worlds. So when this is in the mortal lands during, the off seasons, normally, this is where the people would come to stay, that come to visit while it's there. The House of Solace is smaller, quiet, just kind of very pristinely run Eladrin type establishment. And the Swan House is a little bit more of a touristy place for the Feywild.
Yeah, so probably I'm going to turn and say to the party, well, before we go out seeking information, it would be in our best interest to have our wits about us. So how about we go and get some rest? I recommend the House of Solace.
Anywhere's quiet is gonna be good, says Relic on his last legs.
Everyone's
Well,
aware.
this will be the most quiet of the 3 available inns, so you won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, and that's right here for those of you who can't read. All right.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, no worries. I got you covered. Got you back. So yeah.
Solace sounds peaceful.
Definitely. As long as you don't mess with the houses nearby, you'll be fine. Obviously, there are some religious temples here if you guys need it. Those are listed depending on what your religions are and what you're searching for. But you make your way to the House of Solace. The House of Solace itself, it's quaint by Ledrin standards. It's beautiful in its quaintness. It's made of long, spindly trees that have been braided and then grown into walls. So the entire building is alive. It's a living construction created through the manipulation of nature. You enter in through a large archway and into a door that swings open that is just beautifully carved with flowing bas-relief carvings, and into an incredibly cozy lobby with a central fire pit burning peat, which gives off a just entirely calming odor. There's a small bar where they serve various brandy wines and meads, and then a stunningly beautiful hostess with long flowing red hair standing to the side of it, who bows gracefully and welcomes you. Says, "How may I help you, lords and ladies?"
Sibylia gives a nod of recognition and says, we seek lodging for the evening.
We can definitely help you with this, my lady. Will it be a separate room for each of you?
Well, and she turns to the party and, like, she's going to ask what everyone else desires, because, I mean, everyone's going to be paying their own way, so, you know, sharing a room may be cheaper for some of you. Just depends on what y'all want to do.
I mean, to be honest, I don't like sleeping alone, that's for sure.
I know Jeph and Hyacinth will definitely get a room together.
Well, I just slept, so I don't need one.
Kyler, I thought you said that you wanted to remain sleeping when you were on the boat.
Sure, I always say that when I wake up.
You should just split a room.
Alright, so Kyler and...
You can just put you all back to sleep.
That'll work.
Sib will be staying in her own room.
Alright, Sib's getting a solo room. So that's 3 room. Relic, where are you?
Yeah.
Want to come to the sleeping party?
Yeah.
Alright, so just 3 rooms.
And then if you're sleeping or resting with the speaker, you get advantage on your next saving throw.
Oh.
You get to restore hit points. What is that? How many?
Gosh, I bet you say this to all the girls.
So you get that.
Oh, nice.
So you get to restore some hit points.
You can actually. I'll let you hit everybody with that. 60 feet's a big range. If you want.
Cool. Yeah, if we get joining rooms or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's really missing much in the way of hit points at this point, but at the same time, just for roleplay purposes, you'll just wind up a whole lot more rested.
For Relic, that'll probably help ease the...
Yeah. No, definitely. That's no problem at all. So you guys will take to your 3 rooms. I take it.
Yep. How much is that gonna cost us?
3 rooms, 3 gold.
Yeah. Okay. I'll dock 1 gold for myself since I'm paying for my own room.
And 3 gold will also cover 2 meals, by the way. And these are not rations. These aren't iron rations. These are home-cooked Eladrin meals.
Daddy.
So...
Very nice.
Daddy.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll fork up another gold as well.
Well, I guess eat before we sleep and then grab some breakfast when we wake up.
All right. So if you guys do go down to the bar to eat, you will be served a meal of, depending on your dietary needs. For those of you who eat meat, it will be braised venison with candied yams, boiled asparagus, and baked potatoes. And for those of you with less meaty diets, it will be a vegetable stew with a turnip mash, followed by a garden salad made entirely of flowers.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Since I don't have a room here, what do I do?
Are you not sleeping with anyone in their room?
You were coming to the Relic sleeping room.
Okay, but I don't really need to sleep right now, but okay.
That's fine. We're putting...
You don't have to.
Yeah, it's up to you. As far as what you do beyond that, it's entirely up to you.
Okay, I had something for flavor I wanted to do, but I gotta figure out the details.
Now, well, I'll tell you what. Everyone, are you eating?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And what
Yeah, I'm
you eat?
eating.
What you eat is entirely up to you, based upon your dietary concerns. If anyone has any extraordinary dietary concerns, they will be, supplied. The food is amazing. It's enough to add an additional 4 points to any hit die rolls you need to make for healing. I don't think anyone's missing any hit points, though, if I remember correctly. So,
Sounds like they have a chef in the back.
yeah. Oh, they definitely do.
And they have a kitchen.
So,
Different part of the multiverse.
Sib, while you're down there, and some of you might notice this, might not. There are 2 noteworthy individuals sitting down there eating as well. One of which is Fithagan herself.
Okay, I noticed.
Yeah, the Dryad Queen.
Ooh, shit.
Is sitting there, as well as let me get his name here. Lyria of the House of Flowers, the daughter of the Rose King, potentially a descendant of Corellian himself.
Wow.
They're eating. But it's a little strange to see, you're literally rubbing elbows with Feywild royalty right now. They're just sitting there eating.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So the food will allow us to restore health?
Yeah, if you have any left to restore, yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be really stupid. But is there any way I could be allowed to try to stow some of that into my pack for later?
If you are getting the food that was purchased with your room and board, you can do whatever you want with it. This is cooked food, though. It's not going to last very long.
What about the flowers, though?
The flower salad, it'll last about a day before it wilts.
Fair.
Yeah, this would be like, if you have access to it, the chef feat from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. I know because I have this feat on Bryn, so I know, like, mechanically what's going on behind the scenes, so.
Oh, yeah.
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 It's pretty much while you're taking a short rest and, like, while you're eating it. So it has to be, like, good to receive the benefit.
Yeah.
So essentially just now, okay.
And it is an amazing meal.
Okay. Fair.
There are places to shop and get what you need while you're in town, though. If you're worried about picking up more rations. Unless you're just trying to be cheap.
No, I worry more about like the conditions that we find ourselves in. Like,
well, right now you're sitting pretty. This is cozy.
Yeah, for now, but what if we
for
have
now? But we're gonna be in the city while we scour for information. So
Okay, fair. What is like a gold divided by 3 then? Like
a gold divided by 3 as far as.
Because if I'm sharing a room with the speaker and
Are you breaking it down to copper or silver or?
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
It's like 3 1/3 silver.
Yeah. 3 silver and 3 copper.
Okay, because I was gonna try to do a thing with it. If I'm allowed to try this.
You're allowed to try anything. This is D&D.
Part of my inventory includes 50 gold pieces in a currency called Fool's Gold.
Oh, you're trying to rip the place off.
I'm trying to use something that's part of my background of deception.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say your character has a decent wisdom score. This is not the place to do that.
Yeah, and Relic paid the 1 gold for y'all's room, so you're good.
Yeah.
You're paid.
Okay.
Just pay Relic back.
I had to try it,
Oh yeah, no, these people will pick up on it, and you'll end up thrown out.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, as fun as it would be to have Kyler's Night on the Town side adventure, I have a feeling you may not make it back.
Yeah.
Stib doesn't want cover for your ass.
Dude. But I'm so lovable.
Yeah. Go for it, bro.
Yeah,
Respectability and image are everything, so.
So yeah, you guys make it through your meal, which is fantastic. It's just absolutely succulent. Your full bellies are warm and cozy, and when you make it to your rooms, it just makes falling asleep so much even easier. And the beds, it feels like you're laying in a pool of down feathers, like it's just sinking in and into a cloud.
Yeah, Relic would have asked for a room with a little fireplace.
Oh, all the rooms have a little fireplace. They only burn peat, though. They do not burn wood.
That's fine. I'll literally, Relic will ignore the bed and pretty much just curl up on the mantle right by the fire.
All right. So you get cozy. Everyone's nice and cozy. So everyone sleeps, I take it?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. The night passes completely uneventfully, or, what passes for a night here. All of your dreams are troubled, though. All of you. And whether you discuss this is obviously up to you, but this hits all of you. You each have the same dream. And in the dream, you're standing at the edge of an unfamiliar grove in a field. And as you look through the gloam and twilight, standing at the edge of the wood, you see a tall, pale woman, nestling what appears to be a babe at her breast. She has long black hair that covers and obscures her face, and she just stands at the edge of the wood. But the longer you look at her, the more it seems like a decaying darkness seems to spread from her feet, starting with the grass and the wild flowers that begin to wilt, and then the trees themselves, whose bark begins to become brittle and fall away, followed by the leaves that begin to fall around her like rain, until a sick, foul-smelling breeze picks them up and blows them towards you with increasing intensity, until eventually your vision is obscured and the leaves begin to bite against your skin, scratching and cutting, tiny cuts all over you. And as you struggle against it, panic begins to rise in you. I need each of you to roll on the emotional response table, please.
Come the fuck on!
Ooh, I am loving this.
Well, the shroom's a fun guy. He's perfectly fine.
The fun
We are
guy.
in control of our emotions.
Kyler? What you got?
I mean, I guess this makes, like, in-character sense for Sim being, like, a chaotic neutral character, but at the same time, I ain't getting fucking sleep tonight.
Out of character, what if that's the Queen, Bridget?
It is. How'd you get? No, I wouldn't do that too.
Standing at the epicenter of the blight as it crashes into the multiverse.
As tempting as it is to start roping things into our other campaigns, I'm trying to avoid it a little bit with this one. A little bit.
Can't say I didn't try. Here we go. Don't give me red.
You're good.
Ooh, yes!
So here's Hyacinth and Jeph. Both
They're
yellows.
in sync.
So, Relic.
Yeah.
You can't breathe in your dream. Like it's stifling. You can't catch your breath. It's like you're suffocating. The leaves are just packed around you. They're whirling. They're around you. They're cutting you. You can't get your breath. Every time you open your mouth, the leaves fly in. Every time you try to breathe through your nose, the leaves are covering it. You just can't get your breath. You're panicking. What do you do?
Oh god. Just try turning around any direction away from the wind, using my hand to try and cover my nose as best I can.
No matter what way you turn, it does not help.
Can we try to, like, I don't know, project some sort of calming presence through the dream state to Relic?
But you're alone. Each of you are alone in your own dream.
I run.
Do I wake up?
You run. Okay.
Or is it...
Well, I'll get to you in a second. I got to do with the deal with the reds first.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. All right, so Relic runs. Sib, same thing. It's stifling all around you. You just can't catch your breath. It's cutting you all over. Like you can feel the skin being just ripped away as these leaves turn into razors and begin to just slice through you. Your tender seed flesh. It's cutting your hair. It's in your eyes. It's in your nose. It's in your mouth and your ears. What do you do?
I'm probably going to try and see if I can wake up and stir just a little bit so I can catch my breath.
All right. Well, in the dream, what are you gonna do? What's your reaction?
In the dream, I'm probably going to do same as Relic and like run.
Run. Okay. Okay. So, the rest of you wake up. Relic is on the floor in front of the fire, just thrashing around madly. Like it almost looks like he's having a seizure. Is anyone doing anything?
The speakers
okay.
kind of like alerted and rushed over to try and calm Relic, maybe to make sure he's on his side so he's not swallowing his tongue first, but yeah, to kind of like calm him.
Okay.
I'm gonna do something with Druidcraft.
Alright, what you doing?
So, in actual real life, there's this thing called smelling salts, which you can put under someone's nose to give them like a strong scent that wakes them up.
You gonna try and shock him away?
I am going to use the odor of a skunk to wake him up.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Well, give me a con save.
Sorry.
Okay. That's okay. It's one of my best things. So you watch. I'm gonna roll something huge. Or either a 1. Wow.
Nice. So, Relic's eyes shoot open, and he immediately just bolts upright and just tears off, bowling through Kyler, just knocking you over, and slamming into the wall for a point of damage.
Ow.
Ow!
Dude.
As he hits the wall, from Sib's room, you hear her just start screaming at the top of her lungs.
That was. I'm still trying to get my bearings.
It's all good.
Right, bro?
After
What?
Sib screamed, she probably wakes herself up, and she's now sitting bolt upright and breathing really heavy.
You are. However, Sib, there's a little drop of blood coming out of your nose. Like you reach up and you can feel it.
Oh, that's unsettling.
That was gross. Stupid leaves.
But you are awake.
I probably heard Relic slam into the wall outside, didn't I?
That's what woke you up.
Alright. I'm going to step out, I'm going to open my door and look out. And, did you have a nightmare too, Relic?
I'm gonna crack a window. I'm sorry.
Getting the skunk smell out.
Whoops.
Yeah. Horrible dream.
So at this point, like, there's other people who are staying in the hall, like, peeking out the doors, looking at you, like, what the hell are you doing? What's wrong with you? The beautiful Eladrin from earlier with the long red hair is you see her coming up the stairs with a very worried expression on her face. She immediately raises a hand out and says, "Is everyone okay? What's going on?"
God, it was just a bad reaction to a nightmare is all. We're fine.
"I'm so sorry, madam. Our wards are secure. You shouldn't be able to have bad dreams here. What? I don't know what to say. I'll get with our conjurers and find out what's going on. I'm so sorry."
Oh, don't worry about it. There's a lot going on within the Feywild, and nothing I want to bother you lot with or explain at the moment. Just, it's not your fault.
You
Don't
are
worry about it.
you are our guest, madam, and as such, you are very much our concern. Please, may I check your room just to be safe?
Relick's gingerly rubbing his nose.
If it makes you feel any better, you're welcome to, though I promise you it's probably something that's outside of your control, but. And she steps aside
All right.
to let her enter.
All right. She enters the room. Where is the diadem?
In Sib's bag still.
Okay. She raises her hand and begins to kind of go through the room, scanning. And when she ends up aimed at your bag, she stops, withdraws her hand, like recoiling, and looks over at you almost with this betrayed look on her face and says, What have you brought here?
It is an artifact of tremendous power.
You
And we have been tasked to put it on the heart of the Feywild, which is what has brought us here. We were hoping to gather some information after we've rested.
that
But a lot of people, a lot of very powerful entities have been wanting it, and I assume that one such entity is what caused our nightmares, which is why I insisted that it wasn't your fault.
you can't have this here. I apologize, my lady, but as long as this is in your possession, I must ask that you leave. You are a danger to the rest of our guests.
No, wait, are you dying? What are you doing?
She
We're all trying to get
straightens
Look, we made it. We
and
made it
just
outside.
lifts her, holds her head up high and says,
Wait, let's see.
"That is fun.
Good job, Kaylin.
We will take our leave." And she is going to round up the party.
All right.
No fun saying bye-bye.
We're leaving already? Whoa.
Did we at least accomplish like a long rest?
Okay.
Lol, no.
Yeah, no. You guys did still get your long rest. I won't rob you
Oh,
of
okay.
that, and you can remove
Okay.
your tick of exhaustion. It's all good.
Alright, well, we accomplished what we needed to. So, might we take a union break at the moment?
Yes, we can actually go on our union break here. That's actually that's good timing. Yeah, so we will be right back after this word from our sponsors. Stick around.
What are you doing?
Right, Albert.
And we're back. Dun dun dun. All right, so we just got kicked out of the inn there.
With good reason.
With good reason. Yes, it was fair.
Homegirl's looking after her patrons, and
That's right. That's
she's
right.
right to assume that some very powerful and dangerous beings will be trying to get this thing. So.
Oh yeah, and it is fair. It is fair, and it was the most polite kick out ever. And nobody fought, so there wasn't an altercation. So we're good. We're good. So, you guys did get your rest in. It is morning. Some of you, I'm sure, are yeah, air quotes. Yeah, Feywild morning. As you exit the inn, the air is actually even a little bit colder than it was before. Right off the bat, you notice the troops marching, like patrolling through the streets. This is not common here. The sword guard especially, Sib in particular, and whoever else is familiar with the city will know that the sword guard, it only consists of about 600 Eladrin soldiers total, but they are like the elite fighting force, and you're seeing them marching through the streets patrolling. That sets you a little on edge.
Well, at least we've got some sort of a rest in. Don't know if I can exactly say that it was a good rest, but I don't feel tired at least. I really wonder what's going on here. I mean, obviously, strange things are afoot in this land, like it was warmer outside of Mithrin Dane, but this is unusual.
Do we realize that we've all had the same dream?
No, it hasn't been discussed.
We've been too busy getting kicked out of the inn.
Yeah.
Well, Sid just said that, we got some rest. Don't know if she would call it good, but so.
The speaker's meditation was divine. We had a vision.
That's the way he likes it. So the biting early twilight. You guys are, those of you who would be, obviously, are tummy grumbling, breakfast hungry.
Does anybody smell bacon?
Yeah.
We'll find a tavern.
Yeah.
There's a breakfast service somewhere.
There are 3 taverns in town.
That'll certainly be a better opportunity than any, considering we didn't get the opportunity to get our second meal at the inn. So, what would I know about the 3 taverns in particular?
All right, well, the Laughing Gull, we'll start with that one, which is down here, generally tends to cater to more interdimensional clientele when they're moved into the mortal realms. It's another one of those locations. The Moon and Stars, which is right here, is a larger establishment. This is going to be your kind of upscale traveler location. Touristy, let's say Feywild touristy.
Okay.
This one right here, the Lantern Tree, is actually a giant white oak tree with scores of lanterns above the tables set up under its branches. This is where the locals go.
Sounds like the place the speaker wants to go.
And,
Find a local who can talk.
well, ordinarily I would recommend the lantern tree, but I mean, we just spent an evening at an inn staffed by locals, and we were kicked out. They know the
Yeah, but maybe word hasn't
significance.
spread there yet. Maybe we can get there before they learn about the artifact, and then we can still have a peaceful meal.
Well, you realize that the woman who entered my room was able to detect what I had on me. So whether word spreads or not, we may have a bit of a worse time if we tend to visit more local places, but places around here that cater to interdimensional travels may not give us as much trouble. Our best bet may be the Laughing Gull, even if we may not get the sort of accommodations that we would like to our standard, but it is in our best interest to lay lower and not draw attention to ourselves with our mission.
Laughing Ghost sounds good to me.
So that's where we're headed.
All right, so down to the Laughing Gull.
Down to the Laughing Gull.
All right. You guys make your way through to the Laughing Gull. Obviously, you're gonna pass the Tower of Pearl here. For anyone that would mean anything to, the Temple to Melora. These are two high Eladrin houses here. You make your way down. The Laughing Gull is a very simple place, especially for this. It's very human, for lack of a better term. I know it sounds terribly racist, but yeah, it's a filthy human establishment. But no, I mean it's simple. It's a classic dockside tavern. It's very maritime themed. There's nets and floaters on the walls. There's paintings of fishermen aboard ships, and the wood inside is very old, carved mostly out of old ship parts by the look of it. And there's a half orc behind the bar, although he's very well dressed, all things considered.
Excuse me.
A very well dressed half orc.
Will we be sold insurance while we're in there?
No, I promise you, he won't sell you insurance. That guy is actually in sigil, so
Okay.
in another game you might be sold insurance.
All right.
But yeah, no, there's a handsome half orc behind the bar. The patrons are primarily human, half elf. There's a couple gnomes, one or two halflings. There's an Azamar in the corner, a few tieflings, a Ghinkgo. Sitting around drowning their sorrows by the look of it.
Well, this is about what Sib was expecting, but it's a good opportunity to lay low. So, just hits a spot. So she's going to go up to the bar and see about procuring some breakfast.
Yeah, you like fish?
I could certainly eat some
Jazz?
fish. Certainly.
I'm sorry.
It's alright. So, yeah, I got fish and some more fish.
And it's as long as it's cooked and it's a hot meal, then that's fine by me personally.
I'm playing Minecraft.
He says, how many plates?
See, I can walk.
She looks at the party and see like who's going to be wanting meals.
The speaker will pass. We've kind of been passively absorbing nutrients through the feet in the ground.
Yeah.
Previous inn was
I eat with my feet.
the previous inn was delicious. It just had this amazing natural life energy through the floorboards, but we're satisfied.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal.
I assume like Jeph probably similar.
Yeah,
I don't
he's not big on fish. Probably Hyacinth either, I imagine.
Yeah. I imagine they're veg.
Veg. I boiled some turnips. You want some turnips? I get you some turnips.
Do what?
I get you some turnips.
If Jeph and Hyacinth would want that, then yeah.
They can imbibe it. That'll do.
Yeah. Want to make sure that they're fed. What about everyone else? Still need Kyler and Relick.
Yeah, I'll have fish.
Fish.
Yeah, I could eat.
All right. So it's going to be about 15 copper for all of it.
Can you make change?
I mean, I can make. I make really nice horses out of wood.
I mean, I only have like 24 gold on me right now. It's a thing out of character. So.
So, looking closer at him as you're talking to him, you notice that right above his left eye, his skull's dented in a little bit with a scar over it. You think he may be a little simple.
Yeah.
Dude.
Can we try to
Dude.
I don't know, faith heal him through like a super trip?
It's a very old wound.
Yeah, psychedelics can totally help with really old wounds. To, like, rewire the neural plasticity so that it's like
it's
young again.
It's a half orc with brain damage. I'm not sure you want him to start tripping.
True.
Okay, well we're gonna meander the rest of the establishment and see if we can like lay hands on some people. Not violently, but like the TV preacher, faith healing, kind of like.
I will say, pretty much everyone in here is gonna give you that like.
Tie-dye?
You ever walk in on a cat that thinks it's alone and is unhappy with the fact that it no longer is? You know that look it gets on its face as it turns at you and hisses?
Yeah, I would imagine most of these humans have never seen our like before.
Well, that's the look you get when you walk up to people in here.
We normally get them looked at like that, but this is especially that case, because I would imagine most people have never seen a mobile mushroom.
Well, I'll just hand the half-orc the 1 gold and see what happens. Because, shit, I don't have any copper.
Puts it between his teeth, kind of checks it, rubs it on his shirt. Like, wow, thank you. Yeah. Puts it under the counter and says, I'll get that right. I'll get you the best fish we got, and turnips too. Yeah, you sit down. I get you the good stuff. Yeah.
Sim is going to smile, shrug, take a seat. Like, I sort of expected this, but you know. Let's make the guy happy, why not?
Relick's rolling his eyes somewhat.
All right, so he goes in the back, and you hear him kind of in like orcish. About 25 minutes later, a slightly bent platter is brought out by a team of 3 brownies. They're smelly. They haven't bathed in a while, you can tell. They smell like old food. They come out, they're all struggling, kind of teetering back and forth. You know, they finally get up to your table, just kind of lurch the platter full of food up onto your table. There's quote unquote seared fish and turnips that have been boiled to the point where they're pretty much falling into mush. Somebody did take the time to throw ample amounts of salt on them. So, based upon what you've seen so far, you can tell that an effort was made.
Yeah.
The brownies, after launching the platter up onto your table, all 3 of them stand there with their hands behind their backs, smiling at you like from ear to ear, with their hands out. 2 of them are missing teeth.
I'll get a couple of tiny brass cogs out my backpack and hand them each one.
You hand them brass cogs. So the one on the right looks down at the cog, looks up at you, drops the cog on his floor, actually hops up onto the table and gets kind of eye level with you. Leans in and says, "You, sir, are a bastard," and hops down. And the 3 of them walk back off to the kitchen.
That is the
That's the
finest
cutest
brass
thing.
cog I've ever had, and I was willing to hand it over to I can't believe that. That's so rude.
Wow.
Wow.
I pick up the cogs again and give it a polish, and terrible manners.
Have to remember to make change later.
Right, you're going to carve something out of a wooden
Okay.
thing, are you?
Come on, let's go get our stick.
Wow. So Sib is
What's
going to start
change?
eating.
See, cow?
The food is,
Ding, ding, ding.
it's not terrible.
He's
It's
in
edible.
my voice.
After your last meal, it's
Stop.
it's terrible. Let's be honest. After your last meal, it's terrible, but it's edible.
It'll do. You can't expect a whole lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sib wanted to lay low, she went here. Can't expect good food in places where you go to lay low.
This is fair. So, I will say this. Give me some perception checks.
There she is. He needs help.
Oof, rip.
What kind?
Yep.
Wait, everybody has advantage on their next roll because
Oh,
it's
wow.
the melt during
If you want to use it.
soil restoration. No, that was the melt.
Yeah, I'll use it, see if I get something better.
There you go.
That's better.
It's
better than
better.
what it was.
It is better. So, Relic and Kyler.
Yeah.
You do notice off in one of the corners of the room that there is there's a satyr sitting off in the corner. He's trying to conceal kind of himself, just sipping on a pint, basically. But you kind of pick out his identity. You catch a good glimpse of him, and this is Hersum, the satyr prince.
What's up, dude?
Hey, Sim.
Yes.
Over in that corner there. It's Thingamabob, you know. Thingy. Satyr dude.
Yes, I notice him now. And I'll just say, he's trying to lay low. Let's not bother him.
You might know some stuff.
Yeah, the speaker's gonna just kind of like walk over.
Listen, you lot. Before you do anything,
He's making his way over.
I'll just let speaker do his thing.
You can keep trying to talk the speaker down through the psychic net, but he's just walking, or
I tell you what, let's.
just walking right over to the satyr prince to try and.
I'll give you a persuasion roll if you want.
Me?
Yeah.
All right.
I'd say at this point she appeals to your sensibilities.
Oh wow.
You sit your ass back down, sir.
We're all convinced. Every single one of us is just like, wow, she makes a good point.
She makes a good point. Yeah, solid argument.
Well, this will go well with what I'm about to say. So, the argument that I was about to launch into. Try not to draw the attention of any of the Fae nobility around here. There were two of them in the inn that we were at before we went to sleep, and I didn't bother any of them because, number one, frankly, they don't like to be bothered all that much. Number two, they, of anyone, would be able to sense the power of what is on our person, and they would want it in addition, and I came here so we wouldn't have to deal any more with these Fae nobles than we have to. At this point, I would like to see who we can talk to from non-natives to see their information. They will be more amenable than the Fae natives.
Yeah, but do you think I could get his autograph?
Just don't. Out of respect for their privacy, just don't. The Fae nobility don't like to be bothered.
Fine.
We were just thinking maybe he'd like some drugs. He's a
Dude.
satyr.
Well,
Wait for the Fae nobility to approach you.
I will say, just to point this out to those of you in the know, this is one of the higher members of the Spring Court, which you've already had some encounters with.
Yeah, so bad idea generally. Yeah. Unless he's trying to hide from Oberon too, which, but still a bad idea, because if he's like a level above Sib, Yeah, no, we're not gonna try.
Which,
We're not gonna be trying that.
including Fathagan, this is actually the second member of Spring Court royalty you've seen in town.
Is it abnormal for that many of them to be here? Like,
Yes.
That sounds like a lot of
Yeah, it is.
ability for one little island place. Like, is that unusual?
It's very unusual.
That's very unusual. Is there some sort of conclave meeting or something that they're all involved with? Like, are they doing some cabal shit or some Illuminati thing?
I love it.
Do we need to, like,
Be worried.
I don't know. Is there, like, a reason that all of them have gathered?
Possibly.
Sid might have an answer to that.
I'm just showing you another angle of the city, by the way.
Nice.
There being nothing in particular that's would bring them here unless they too are concerned with what's happening in the Feywild, though considering the nature of my court, I don't consider that very likely. If I had to guess, Oberon has probably sent them here to keep an eye on us, because we stopped there first.
Okay, well, secondary thought. This lady Chandria is leading some sort of offensive to defend this place. Maybe she would know some stuff if we could try and work our way up that way after breakfast. Maybe we could.
I will say this, just
because if there is some sort of like nobility conclave, like maybe letting them know that we've got this artifact, but we're not here to like defend them.
so
Like,
do you
giving them no threat.
do you know who Lady Chandria is?
Out of character?
Yeah. Okay. So you remember Oberon's consort?
Vaguely.
Titania?
Yeah. Lady Chandria is a distant niece of Titania. So the Summer Court holds a huge sway here. She is a warlord.
So is she not really going to be?
Well, no. Don't take that. Don't take that as a negative. She's actually been known far and wide to employ adventurers to do various tasks, as long as it is in defense of her city, which she takes incredibly seriously.
I mean, I feel like if all of Fey nobility is in this location and she's set up some sort of like end of days defense force for this location, and we've got an end of days artifact, maybe we should try to collab on something.
She's not
Bad idea. She will want it.
possibly, but it's not unheard of.
Or if she's smart, she'll want to use us to use it
She's
for herself or something, or in her benefit.
by reputation, Lady Chandria is remarkably practical. Her primary goal and function, which she takes very seriously, is the defense of this city, because while it's here in the Feywild, it is literally like one of the primary points of ingress for the Fomorians. She is like the first line of defense, more or less. She's a little less political and a little more practical. So with that in regard, she's actually been known to provide ample opportunities for sellswords to come in and do things for the benefit of the city, because to do that means she doesn't have to risk her 600 elite troops. So, talking to her not only could potentially get you well within her graces, but if you get on her good side, by proxy, you could get on to Tanya's good side.
Good point, actually. Yeah, that... And I assume Sib would know this as well, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, that would actually be a good place to start. Sib will say, well...
If we can even, like, get entry, I assume we can't just, like, walk in the front door of her super secure, like, war zone, like, headquarters.
Well, we can arrive at the door of her tower and request entry. I would only assume that she has guards posted up. My primary goal in arriving here to the City of Starlight was to see if maybe we could pry any prime material wizards or such for information they may have on the quote-unquote heart of the Feywild, but Lady Chandria would be a good resource if we could get her on our side. And maybe we could.
I mean, if she's on our side, then maybe the rest of the city opens up and we're not such outcasts for carrying the thing.
It's not terrible logic.
It depends. I mean, even though Lady Chandria has her forces out there protecting the city, the woman at the inn was still, you know, not the most pleased with us staying at the place, because even with the guards posted outside, you could still bring untold dangers onto the inn. So it does make sense that she did not want us there. But we do need some higher placed, powerful contacts that can provide us resources to help us with what we need to not only figure out what's going on with the Feywild, but also figure out where the heart of the Feywild might be. Anything we can do to solve this. That has been my primary mission looking into this, because the Spring Court has not been amenable to me at all for ages. So, pulling strings in the Summer Court might actually not be a bad plan. Because Titania could tug Oberon's ear.
True. If anyone could.
So it's agreed. Just
So you want
up
to...
to Lady Chandria's tower and knock on the front door.
So, lucky number 13 is her tower. Here. Do you want to make your way up there directly to her tower? You want to stop along the way?
If we are done eating, then we will probably be on our way.
Okay. And I will say the unnamed half-orc, on your way out, he's, oh, thank you, madam, thank you so much, thank you, goodbye, come back again, thank you, goodbye.
Sibylla gives a sweet smile and a small nod of the head in acknowledgement.
So if anything, you made a friend there.
Yeah, I figured.
So you guys make your way up to the upper levels, passing along a lot of the royal house towers of the Eladrin nobility. Most of them are gated, obviously, with their own personal guards who give you dirty eyeballs as you go by, but nobody gives you any hassle. You make your way up to the White Tower of Lady Chandria. Once again, it's gated. There are two Eladrin guards standing outside, carrying double-bladed swords. who immediately step to attention as you approach and look at you expectantly.
I stop just short of them and I give them a nod and a smile, and I would say, would Lady Chandria be available to speak to us in the interest of protecting the City of Starlight? There's been a lot of odd events going on in the Feywild, as obviously I'm sure you've noticed, and we have a vested interest in figuring out what's going on as well. Might she be available to see us?
Well, there is quite a wait at the present moment, but you are more than welcome to enter into the lobby and stand in line until she can attend to you.
We will do so.
Then you may enter, but keep in mind, should you step out of line or cause any trouble, there will be no leniency.
Very well understood. We mean no harm.
They open the gate and motion for you to go through.
Alright. We enter, and I guess we're standing in line.
Alright, so you go in. You're in the primary lobby of the tower, which is just absolutely stunning. The carved white wood mingled with ivory and stone melded together almost seamlessly, wraps and just becomes this intricate lattice work that walls off the central lobby itself. It's lit by unseen sources that permeate the room with a soft, glowing white luminescence. The entire inside smells of lilacs and honey. And inside is a very long line of various Feywild residents, apparently waiting to gain audience with the lady.
Should have stated my name and position whenever I saw the guard. Oh well. I'll wait.
Smell like goldfish.
Alright, so you're in line then?
Yeah, I guess we're just in line, chilling in the lobby.
Alright.
It would be a shame if I were to set everybody in the lobby and onto a psychedelic trip, make the walls bleed or something. Run.
But I will say, as the guard said,
Dude.
You may not want to do that here.
Would they be able to detect my spore?
These are the Eladrin elite.
Okay, so maybe they'd be able to detect my spore psychedelics.
They may come in
Lady?
here and yeah.
Okay.
Lady Sevilla would give you like a nasty eye, like, don't you dare.
We won't. We will keep our spores under control.
So if you wait patiently, it's going to be about 5.5 hours will pass.
Worth.
Ooh. I'm gonna talk to the person in front of
speaker
us.
will just kind of meditate and craft a couple of spore grenades.
Alright. So
5 hours. To make one.
alright.
It ends up football shaped. It is hallucinogenic in nature. And once we've completed meditating and realized what we've crafted, we hand it to Kyler.
Alright. So you make your way in.
Started to speak up there.
So yeah, Relick's gonna talk to the guy in front of him and keep showing him his collection of gears and cogs and all the other little doodads that he's got in there. We're talking very excitedly about how awesome each one is and how individually how different they all are because they've all got they're like fingerprints. I mean, the one's got a little tiny crack on the edge of it. But I mean, look, it's so beautiful. Basically, I'm gonna bore the tits out of him.
So,
So
the speaker just handed me a psychedelic football.
pretty much.
Yes.
And Relic, as you're talking to the guy in front of you, I don't know if you
Yeah.
can, if you're watching the stream, but
No.
say his back's to you. He keeps turning around, going, yeah, okay, yeah, no, oh no, that's fantastic, yeah, no, great, oh, gee, yeah, yeah, no, I mean, no, okay, I love that, that's great. Go, yeah, no, I mean, the no, okay, sure. Yes, yes. Gears are lovely. Yeah, it's very polished. It's bright and shiny. Yes. So yeah. Okay. Look, I actually, my wife's calling. I gotta go. So it's nice to meet you. Bye.
On what, dude? They don't have phones here.
Psychically.
Speaking stones.
Sending.
Since I've been
Sending
handed
stones, yeah.
a psychedelic football, I would like to do the worst thing with it.
Put it in your bag.
I'm gonna start tossing it up in the air nonchalantly, like a football player that's got his varsity jacket on and is like a
Oh Lord.
senior in high school. So just like casually just tossing it up in the air as I walk around talking to people
Here,
and like trying to stir up some merriment and mirth.
give me a dex check.
I'm pretty sure the people here are like, some of them are musicians, some of them play the drums. Let's get a party, dude.
Yeah, give me a dex check. And don't roll a 1.
Oh no.
Nice!
Behold my grace and dexterity.
So Kyler is just deftly maneuvering the spore ball, hand to hand, between the legs, over the head, behind the back, standing on one hand, doing the robot.
Oh yeah.
You probably impressed some people, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm just dancing throughout the line, tossing it up in the air and running it over and catching it. Just putting on a show for people, entertaining them.
So you actually overhear as this is going on. A few of the people go saying things like, "Oh wow, Lady Chandria sprung for an idiot. That's amazing."
Can I do something along with that?
Sure. What do you want to do?
I want to try to use like Druidcraft to like give myself little sensory effects around it, like
Oh yeah.
like kicking up some leaves as I'm throwing the football around, or like a faint breeze that seems to take it away from me, and then I'm like, no, but then I somehow catch it.
Oh, Lady
And then
Chandra.
the breeze blows your hair back. Just all cool.
Lady Chandra sprung for a sparkly idiot. That's amazing.
I don't hear any of it. I'm just like.
So yeah, about 5 hours pass. We'll say 4 hours 45 minutes because Relick actually chased off the person in front of you. And you finally gain audience with the lady. You're led into a long, perfectly polished to the point of gleaming white oak room, at the end of which sits a lattice work woven terrace that becomes a large high-backed throne almost. Siding on either side of her, flanking in front of 2 large banners, are 3 of the sword guard standing at attention, and sitting upon the chair is a radiant Eladrin, Lady Chandria, in full mithril plate mail. She's
Alright.
rubbing her temples gently as you approach.
I want to
All right.
continue my act in the door, cartwheeling, backflip, land, catch the football, and say, parkour.
Nice. Just because it is 9:55 and this roleplay is like, could potentially take a while, I think this might be a really good place to end it for the session since we go from 7 to 10.
All right, if everyone is in agreement, I am okay.
I just want to keep like doing stupid stuff in the background, like just throwing the football up and then backflipping and catching it, just like putting on a show because she seems to be kind of irritated, and I'm just like giving her something to distract her. Like,
Oh yeah, which is all good. We'll let you go. So yeah, we'll wrap it here just before we actually gain audience with the lady, and when we pick up next Monday, this is where we'll pick up. Which is actually a good point, because this is where things will actually begin to get a little more serious.
Yeah, so we need some roleplay time for that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this has been fun. I hope you guys had a good time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I next week hopefully we'll get our missing pixie back. We have missed her and Jeph. They always kind of add a good bit of fun to the roleplay mix. But for those of you who have joined us at home, those of you who will join us after the fact, thank you very much. It has been an absolute pleasure. We'll be back next Monday for session 3 of Beyond the Veil of Twilight. Good night.
Blessed be and good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
good night.
Good night. I have to find the ending thing. There we go.